What's going on YouTube? John back from Hot Lap RC. I got a bunch of short course trucks here. I figured we would just do like a little bit of a comparison video of the different styles because we got the four-wheel drive Traxxas Slash, old and new edition I can show you. We have the new BLX Arma Senton, the Pro SC from Team Associated, and this does look like a Traxxas, but it's actually a Losi Tenacity four-wheel drive. So we're going to get into that. If you're wondering what that is in the background, it's just a little two-wheel drive old HPI Blitz I'm trying to resurrect with virtually no parts. I really love, I think I got the roller for like $17 on eBay. So anyway, I'll bring it back to life and have some fun with it. So let's go over what we got going on here. So I don't have the Tenacity body. It looks pretty badass, but I don't have it. So I have a Traxxas Slash body here. I'll go over that in just a second. So overall, they're all about the same size. They're around the same weight. The arm is actually pretty friggin' heavy. That's actually heavier. This thing's really light. Tenacity doesn't have a motor in it, so but it's relatively heavyish. I'd say this is the heaviest. And then these two are probably pretty equal, and then the Associated seems to be the lightest of the bunch. Size-wise of the bodies, like I said, I don't have the Tenacity here, but I think it's about the same size. But they're all about the same size vehicle. Same height, same width, same basically everything. Now you see some of them have the bumper out front. This one kind of does. Probably going to take some impacts on that body. Would be nice to have a little bit more, like these have. So even this has some protection. And then with the Traxxas body on the Losi, it completely hides the bumper behind the actual body, and it's like right up against it, so it actually should stop it from breaking. So that's pretty cool. If you look there, it's like I said, it's right there at the bottom of the body. All right, let's move on here. All right, I don't know what to do, but let's just say let's take the bodies off. Let's do that. So this is my fiance's. She wants pink. She gets pink. This is the Traxxas with the Villenian power system, brushless. Now this is the older style. This one has the pin that you have to pull out. It has the drive shaft cover. So this is the older style. We do have the newer style. It also doesn't come with these green arms. We had to replace these, and that's all the color the hobby shop had. And then the wheels are actually, she has on there the Proline Badlands, when they're actually a bigger tire than the average tire by a little bit. And they're really beefy and very aggressive. We haven't run them yet, though, so we'll figure them out, I guess, when we actually get a chance to. So let's go over real quick before we move on the differences between this one and the other one that I have. So this one doesn't have the onboard sound, obviously, but really notice the tray. The tray has the pin that you got to take out and all that, and the way it's all set up. So also the transmitter box is different. So let's go over here, take a look at. And this is what they look like. So it's very rare that they're all clean, which is why I'm doing this video. So this one has the onboard sound. And you can see the differences even though it's really, really, really dirty. You see the box is different. This also doesn't have the pin anymore. Now it just goes in and slides in, and when you want to take it out, you just lift this up and it comes out. It's an okay design. I feel like this wears out, and then the battery comes flying out. I've already had it happen to me a few times. I did break the Slash, but running 3S, this thing moves, so you can break it. But overall, I would definitely recommend them regardless. So that's that one. So that's the differences between that and this. So let's get the body off the Arma. I probably like this body the most out of all of the bodies. Just think it's kind of badass looking. So this one is basically the same thing. I mean, you still have a, this one has the metal drive shaft, this one has a plastic drive shaft, but, relatively same concept going on. Battery straps versus battery hold down. This battery hold down is nice, but if you have like a thicker pack that you're trying to run, you won't be able to use it with this. Whereas this, you could put a thicker pack in there that's like taller, which is nice, depending on the batteries you have. Maybe something like this 8,000 mAh, where you can get quite a lot of runtime out of a battery like this, and not have to keep changing them. So we're going on to the next one, Team Associated. Lift her up. Okay, I think this one probably, to me, maybe screams the most of quality and like finesse race-wise, like really a lot of thought put into it. This one, has the mud flaps in the back. Now this one has I don't know if the Arma has a wheelie bar. I don't know if we're going to be able to use that or not, but we'll find out. It's still unran. So this one hasn't really been ran either. And yeah, it has mud flaps, plastic shocks, similar battery style to what the Traxxas was running over here, with the hold down and the pin. And a lot of extra wire here that I ended up having to zip tie. I don't know why there's so much wire for this RTR. But, and don't look at all my connectors because I changed them. So, we should go over connectors in a second. Let's just move on to the next one. So the last one is, again, I'm going to be transforming this. So I bought this as a roller. So it has no motor. It doesn't have that avionic system where it automatically counter steers for you if you get it out of control. That would just be unfair for running against other people. So it's just a roller. So I have a whole Traxxas Vanillion, however the hell you say it, system that I'm going to put in this, and then I'm going to use this body, because I don't have a body for it, which fits perfectly somehow. I'm going to use the onboard sound from the two-wheel drive over there, and make this a four-wheel drive brushless / with onboard sound, but technically it's a Losi Tenacity. So that's my plan. So that body over there. Talk about the Tenacity. Now, the Tenacity is different than like all of them. You can't actually access the battery tray from there. You have to access it from the bottom, and it's kind of strange. I don't know how much I'm going to like it or not like it. But overall, build quality looks pretty good. Team Losi's not quite what it was before Horizon Hobby bought them, but overall, you can still see a bit of quality there. It still looks pretty nice overall. I think the Associated maybe gets the edge, but only track time will tell, because I haven't driven this one in either. So let's real quick go over. So again, the Traxxas Slash doesn't come with these tires. It comes with tires that look like this one. See this kind of tire is what comes on the Traxxas Slash. And you can see there's the onboard audio system that I'll be taking out of this little two-wheel drive stock guy and putting it into this, because the onboard sound really is awesome. I love it. My son loves it. My fiance and my daughter both hate it, but I think it's amazing. So anyway, let's continue. As far as connectors go, any other connector you have, you're going to use batteries that are going to have, your little balancing plug. Well, Traxxas doesn't do that anymore. They have their balance plug built into the battery and everything, and it's called ID or something like that. So there's no worry, but you need to have a specific batteries, and you need to have specific charger, and everything's kind of expensive. So me personally, I change everything over. The only reason why this is like this is my fiance has a Summit, Traxxas Summit, and she just likes these batteries, and for her, I like to make things very simple, so she can actually do it herself, but it's easy. Whereas with the kids, I have to kind of do it all myself. So that's something to consider, or the battery situation, and are you willing to lob these off so you can use regular style batteries? Because you see these batteries, these Traxxas with the ID, they don't have that little balance plug. It's built in. Moving on. For the battery, my phone dies. That's pretty much, that's what we're looking at. Let's look at the bottoms. you can see that this is an okay design, but you know it's got some issues. The steering servo is coming out through the bottom, so that leaves room for rocks and debris to break that. A-arms are, you know, The arm is really well built. Does use 14 millimeter hex wheel hubs compared to everything else that uses a 12 millimeter, which is easy to find, and the wheels for this one are more difficult to find. But they are pretty good tires out of the box. So you can see this one's real flat, but you know, who knows what's going to happen with dirt and everything, and you have to access the battery there. I don't know. We're going to find that out. I know a lot of guys, they just seal this up and they just cut the battery back out of it, and they'll either put a battery tray in it or they'll just use straps or whatever. They modify it. I mean, you know, we all do. What else could I possibly say at all? As far as like overall travel, when you push these tires down, how far does it actually go? And you can see that that goes below. So when this thing bottoms out and really hits hard, you know, you clearly have, this is going to hit and take the abuse rather than your shocks taking that abuse. And the Arrma does that too. You can clearly see how low that just goes. Hopefully the camera's catching that. The Associated, not so much. So when this thing bottoms out, it's gonna definitely have some shock impact. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't break them, especially if I launch this thing. Now the tenacity actually seems to go all the way down, so that one should be fine too. Something to think about. You may end up blowing shocks out in this thing. Aluminum ones would probably fix it, but again, time will tell. That's about it. Like I said, I just wanted to go over some four-wheel drive while they're clean, because very soon they're going to all look just like these. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Everybody, take it easy.